Hi there, my name is Juji. Welcome to my channel. This is a space for everyone and anyone who's interested in exploring personal development and relationships through the human design system. I wanted to show you something really special today. As you may or may not know, I run a community for conscious women called the Be Hive. This is a space for anybody who's deconditioning and experimenting with their personal human design. One of the perks of being a member of the Be Hive is that I host a weekly call, and once a month, we allow friends and family to join as well. On our last call, one of our members brought her mother. She wanted all of us to hear what her mother had recently experienced experimenting with her human design eating recommendation, which is consecutive. What it means to be a consecutive eater is that you're here to eat one ingredient at a time. This can be challenging for some people, but not in this case. Please watch and see what unfolds. What we were able to witness was truly magical, and it touched our hearts deeply.
They're big influences in my life. It's my mother. But with her recently, I've been experimenting or encouraging her to experiment with her eating recommendation, which is consecutive. And just the other day, she was sharing with me her personal experience with it. And I just thought it would be so great to have her here to share it for herself, because it is her story. So I like, if she could tell her own story, I would prefer that.
Sure. Mom, would you like to share your story of your journey with consecutive eating?
Sure. When she told me about she said, oh, there's also like your eating design along with human design. And I thought, okay. And she says, well, you're a consecutive eater. And she says, I don't know how you're going to feel about that. I said, why? And she says, well, you eat just one thing at a time and with really just least amount of ingredients as possible. And I said, I don't think that would be very hard for me. That sounds like, that sounds familiar to me. That sounds like fine to me, because the other ones, like hers is cold. I'm like, oh God, no. But this, I'm like one thing at a time. Okay. And just eat like a meat. And then if I want rice, eat up the rice, but eat it, and I thought, yeah. So I've done it. It's been a short time, probably just maybe a month or two.
Yeah.
But in that time, I've lost like 20 pounds, and not by starving myself, but just by eating one thing at a time. Because sometimes if there's like, let's just say a piece of chicken, and I'll eat that, and then I will wait a while because I'm full. And then if I want something else, then later on I get it. So I'm not constantly just trying. I guess the way I was eating before, it was never satisfying for me. And so for me, and I told her when I was little, when I was growing up, I was a plain eater. And then I got away from that with my husband, because when I met him, he's like, oh, you don't like sour cream. You don't like, try this on potatoes. And I was just a potato put butter on it person. So he was the one who got me more into all these spices and stuff. And I did end up liking it, but it wasn't, now that I know, it wasn't satisfying for me. It just turned me into this overindulgent person who was trying to find satisfaction.
Like you were chasing satisfaction.
So it's very interesting how this has worked out for me. And I really do enjoy doing it. I mean, I'm not 100% perfect on it, of course. But like if I eat a burger, and she suggested this to me, only use like half the bread, put it like just use one slice instead of, like the whole bun. And that has been much better for me. Mm-hmm. So it's, and like salads, having all that mixed together. If I have a salad, I will just kind of I won't mix it together. I'll eat, like if there's a chef salad, the eggs first, maybe nibble a little bit on the lettuce. So yeah, it's been really good. And I just feel satisfied, which I haven't felt like that in a long time. And I feel satisfied and just very complete, if that makes sense. Like I'm not trying to like yearning for something that I felt was missing. It just feels like it's all there. And that's just by eating. It's just crazy how how that worked out.
I love this story because in so many words, I've heard it over and over and over again with people who felt like, because honestly, homogenization starts with eating, so all of us having to have 3 square meals a day at this time and this time and this time. And the mind constantly telling us that more is better. So more spices is going to be more satisfying. More ingredients is going to fill me up better. It's going to satisfy me more. And to kind of see that actually for people who are consecutive eaters, like it's all about the whole life being more simple, that you are only really here to do one task at a time.
Yes. And that is very true because
look at my hair.
oh, I love it.
Cool.
Can you bring my
Okay, you got it, baby.
Yeah. So when she told me, your life is just simple, and I said, you are right. I am not. And I knew this all along, but I always looked at it as a bad thing because everybody in life, like you said, the homogenized thinking is, oh, you're not like accomplishing anything unless you multitask and are trying to do 10 things at one time. I can't do that. I can't. And I just set myself up for quote unquote failure when I've tried that. And I told her, I'm not a multitask person. I'm a one task at a time person. And even in how I dress, and I'm a very simple person. I don't have a lot of close friends in my life because that would be very overwhelming. I have one really, really good friend, and then on the outer circle there's friends, but I can't manage multi-people either. I can't do any of that. That just drives me crazy.
Oh, Chris is waving to us in the background too. It's like it's a whole human design family affair over there. I love it.
He's serving us some tea right now, but he had to make an appearance.
The magnificent.
Yeah.
I love that so much because I feel like everything that you just described, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's almost like a permission slip, right? This is who you are. It's who you've always been. Your mind can tell you that you should have more friends. Your mind can tell you that you should be able to multitask, which, spoiler alert, basically nobody can multitask. Not effectively, really. But as a consecutive eater and as somebody who's really here to do it one thing at a time, you especially cannot, be in a space where there's too many things going on. And to get that permission so that your mind is not like beating you up, because that's what our minds do, right? They like, why can't you eat multiple things at a time? Why can't you have more friends? Like it always turns in on yourself. And to get that permission slip of like, nope, the chart says.
Well, yeah, I will share this is something that just has happened very recently within the last few weeks. For about 2 years, I was on anti-anxiety meds because I just had a lot of anxiety to deal with. But when I started learning when she was teaching about human design, and then I went through a grief recovery period when I thought, oh yeah, I grieved my dad's death. I grieved this. No, I didn't. Mm-hmm. Just recently, within the 3 weeks, I'm off those meds now. I'm not even taking them anymore. And I haven't had any issues with anxiety now that I'm off of them. I tried getting off of them before, maybe a year ago. She's so happy. She's proud of me. Now she's going to make me cry and she's crying.
Oh, the emo. I love it.
I don't think there's a call that I don't cry on.
Yes, teary-eyed. So, but I haven't had any. I'm fine. I don't have any anxiety, but I contribute it all to the way that I eat, the way that I've accepted my simplicity. And simplicity for me is like, that's a great thing. The more simple I can be, I believe the better off I am. So it's been good. And she taught me.
It's so magical how, you know, one person, and I call the Be Hive an ecosystem, because we all have our own little tribes that we belong to out there in the world. We're spread out all over the country, and Carly's in another continent altogether. She'll be here at some point. And once it really starts to take hold with one person, it can really it's like a web, and it has so much power in families and communities, and to just have that kind of permission slip. And I'm so happy that you have had this experience in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I just feel confident, and I just feel good. So it's a good thing. I'll just have her keep just giving me more information as she gets it.
Wasn't that an incredible story, you guys? I was really trying to keep it together, but it was very challenging, to be honest with you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you want to get notified every time I drop a new video. Please also put your comments below if you have any questions about eating recommendations or anything else. You can also follow me on Instagram at HDbyZ and find me on my website. The link will be in the show notes, as always. I'm also going to throw in the link for the Be Hive in case it's something that you want to learn more about. It's a really incredible space for learning, for sharing, and for support. It's truly a sisterhood, and I would love you to be a part of it. If there's still more that you'd like to know, you can also get in touch with me, hello@hdbyz.com. Until next time, ciao for now.